Okay, hello everyone. We are team number 24. Here's my colleague Ernesto Diaz Ibarra, and my name is Maximiliano Lunes Caballero, and we're about to talk about the future of the Mexico digital economy. Okay, yeah, podrías ponerlo en. Okay,
Okay.
perfect.
The current status is that Mexican people don't know how to use digital platforms to sell or buy products, and the government is not particularly good at supporting businesses, so they let alone digital ones.
Yeah, in Mexico, the government does not support the small businesses. So by that, we have many problems when we try to start a new business or a startup. So in a couple of years, politicians will have to notice the great impact of e-commerce. But unfortunately, the government is more interested in creating different taxes to digital services rather than encouraging them. So the normal people will have to pay a lot for these digital services and the entertainment that they have. Um, I think that needs to change in order to have a better environment for these kind of platforms.
Okay. Social and cultural aspects. Mexican people are not used to use technology in order to improve the efficiency of the company. This is because most of Mexican people are poor, and the fact is that 41.9% of the population lives in what I'm saying in poverty makes it difficult to digital economy to thrive. Um, this is because these people lived in in the outskirts of the cities, and they principal are dedicated to the agronomy, to and and handcraft.
Yeah, the fact that many of these people and many of the Mexican population is poor makes it difficult for any kind of digital platform to reach them. If you live in a ranch, it's going to be a little bit difficult for them to even know what it is. So the fact that Mexican people is very superstitious, and the fact that new technologies sometimes are not welcome make it a little bit harder for these technologies to make an improvement in their lives. So most of them are not because most of them are not interested in acquiring this knowledge, and this knowledge is necessary for the correct use of the internet, and they can use this tool to actually improve their lives. So it's overlooked by many, and sometimes it's not even supported by the companies that sell these kind of services because they can reach these populations. Sometimes they have to create their own services because the big companies does not care about them.
Yes, and another fact is the ugly face of this is that these people they don't even know how to read, they don't even know how to write. So this is a very poor people. Okay, how we could improve this? First of all, giving the importance needed for all the digital services, creating or adapting laws, mm, like in the basic school, the children will have to learn about all these digital services. How do they work? how you can use them, how you can reach them. So this is have to be learned in most of the young population. So with this knowledge, every buyer or seller is a priority, and with this, you can teach the young people to know if there is a possible fraud. And well, this is because in Mexico, this is like about our culture for poor and badly, but this is how it's done here in Mexico. You can be easily be part of a fraud and you don't even know. And with this, frauds will be less often, or at least will be severely punished by the laws.
Yeah, uh, is making strong sentences to these kind of people is important, but at the same time, as I said before, we need to make these services more affordable to the poor communities in Mexico so they could grow. If they don't even have water, they don't even have, sometimes they don't even have electricity. And it's kind of difficult to take this to take these digital services. Is very difficult to take them to these sites because they don't even need them. They need food, they need water, they need other stuff. And with this, the more with this, more people are going to be able to thrive. At least they can have an opportunity. If they know how to use the internet or they have access to it, they can understand how they can sell their own things to many people instead of just relying on having to go to a market and see if someone is going to buy any of your stuff. And that's how the use of digital services will start, at least in these parts of the country, because you don't even have to go that far. You just have to go to the outskirts, and sometimes they don't even have drinkable water because they don't have enough money. That's kind of like the issue that's been tormenting Mexico for the last 300 years or more. That we are uh, that we have a lot of poor people and a lot of rich people. And that's how we can change a little bit by giving them more services.
Yes. Okay. Another point uh, is that the government needs to support in the cities or even in the outskirts. They need to support the small businesses and the small entrepreneurs. Um, there are very few programs like Educafin or like GTO, youth entrepreneurs. I don't know, but this is are like very few, and this information you have to search for it because the government doesn't give that information to you. They don't post it like internet, like on Facebook, like in their websites. You have to search for it to to have the chance to make and have the opportunity to create your own company, but this in a very low uh, or smaller scale. I don't know. And this is what the government needs to do: support all the new entrepreneurs, young ones even, and so they can achieve their new goals and help the actual economy. because of the pandemic. Um, a lot of new entrepreneurs and a lot of new businesses has shown in the internet and Instagram and Facebook. So this is what the government need to focus in, the new businesses. Otherwise, most of them will be doomed to failure if the government doesn't support them.
Okay, supporting local businesses is very important for the economy overall, but at the same time, Mexico doesn't care that much about it. Sometimes just starting a new company is extremely difficult. Even if you have the internet, it's going to be difficult. So, what other choice do we have than have a better education? Okay, we all say you need to study to have a better job. But what if that job is extremely inexistent? You need to understand that the education in Mexico must change, at least to the basic level. The actual system is kind of worthless. The young population is actually not learning on how to do anything more than multiply and to do basic math or just to know how to read. The 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 actual Mexican educational system is corrupted and is inefficient. So we need to change this. We came out of high school without even knowing how to pay taxes. We don't know how to improve our lives. We just know that if if you know math, you're going to do well, even though you're not going to have a job because there's no jobs available. So you need to remember that education is not only that, but that's one of the things that Mexico has to improve. Their educational system has to change for for the good. It needs to change. If you want the digital services to be available from 5 years from now, you need to change all of this. You need to change basically the actual financial situation that we are in. We need to improve it at least a little bit. Then we need to make these services more available. So in 5 years, many people will have more connections. They will know how to use the internet. They will know how to, I don't know, even know how to pay their own taxes. So those taxes can be used in a better way to improve their own communities. And of course, supporting local businesses is extremely important. New entrepreneurs have this like barrier because nobody cares about it. And if they do, they just want to rip them off their own company because they want to have like half of the value of the company so they can be rich, and the one that started that company is going to be in in the brink of bankruptcy. That's why we need to change all of this. And it has to start with the education. And that's what we think will need to change in order to improve and making all of this a reality to use the digital services for the for the for the Mexican population. And I think that's all. Thank you for your time. My colleague will now say something so we can say goodbye.
Yes, so we conclude with this. The first part of the unit one of this course. Uh, so thank for your time and thanks for watching this advance. So thank you and have a good day.